Hi all you beautiful people. We're going to talk about diet today because I feel it's really important, and also one of the big challenges for many of us. And yeah, just shine some light on it, how I feel is a good approach. And I've made many videos about this, so you can really go and see. I talk about this a real lot. Probably because it's been such a big challenge for me during my life. So it is a huge topic, and yeah, it's good, I think, because, and that's probably why the Lord is asking me to do this, because the journey of healing is often so lonely, and it is just I think one of the big parts of our awakening process. Because see, in the old times you used to be able to go to the doctor and the doctor will explain to you what to do, and you can't do that anymore. Only in very few cases, because the doctors have not learnt what natural healing is and the healing ability of the body and how the body really works. So we have to really refine all these things, and at the same time we can't use the old knowledge really all the way, because we're changing, we're morphing, we're becoming new beings. So it really is huge. And when you feel you can't digest your food and you're just not well, it's very depressing. It's really difficult, because when your gut's not functioning, you're not functioning. And as they know now, we all know, those who heard it, that the gut and the brain are completely connected. And so if your gut's not well, your brain's not well. And if you can't think properly, and your emotions maybe are very disturbed, I mean, life is not fun. Life is really not fun. So it's good to talk about this. So if you feel you need this, I'm here, and let's hold hands and just see how we can grow and understand more and get to heal completely and really get to feel good in our bodies. Because that's the first thing. When we believe we will get to feel good in our bodies, we will. But if you don't believe it, it might not happen, because your thoughts are the powerhouse of your life, really. Your thoughts and your approach to life, the way you see life, the way you choose to see your life. That's where all the healing happens. So in my video that was called Meat Heals, one of you wrote God heals, and that's true. God heals, or the connecting with your inner truth, which is God. That's what heals you. That is the deepest, that's where the greatest healing comes from. It's by connecting to this very deep place in you, the deepest of the deepest place in you, which, as I see it, is God. And this place will guide you to complete healing. So before I go any further, I believe we're all unique. Although our journeys are very alike, we're all completely unique. And the body we have is, of course, affected by, or it is, of course, if you're half Chinese and half Greenland, you have a particular genetic makeup which makes certain foods good for you and certain foods not good for you. And so that's why many people get these DNA tests, because that helps them to understand what to eat. So just going back to God, where all healing starts, as I feel it, I've learned, is to really start to connect with yourself and feel peace. So before you even think about diet, ask yourself, how am I going to, in my life where I am right now, how do I manage to feel the peace within me? And whatever it takes, that is the foundation for your healing process. Feel the peace, and get into contact with your higher self or your deep self. And one of the great tools is muscle testing, which is a very direct link to your subconscious. But do whatever you can, and use my videos if you can use them with the prayer, and just come into this deeply peaceful place. Because when we feel the peace, everything works better, and at the same time we're also guided much more clearly. When we're not at peace, we can be very confused. And often it's the mind that takes over. So we read something, this and this is good to eat, and then we just do it without asking our inner self, and feeling, does this make me feel peaceful to eat this food? So start there. I'll just get a pillow for my back. So lately, and the last half year or so, I've been talking a lot about moving into animal products. And I just want to say, I've said it before, some people can be vegans and actually function very well. And it's fine for them. The thing is, we are not them. And so I think a greater percentage of us cannot do that. Yet, maybe we will be able to. So what's really important is to to wish for yourself to find the right path for you. And if you I look at my bookshelf, all the books I have, and all the things that I've read and heard over the last 20 years, the big breakthroughs for people who had sick guts and were affected in their mind, of course, was one of the first ones was the specific carbohydrate diet. And what you do there is you remove all grains. And then came the paleo diet, which is also where you remove all grains, except you can have quinoa, you can have some seeds. And then there came the ketogenic diet, the Atkins diet, where all grains completely and more or less all starches are removed. And now we have the carnivore diet, where people who have really given up are healing on meat and just animal foods. And we have the video I have in this playlist with, what's his name, the Australian doctor, forgot his name, he's down there, he's this short video about constipation where they have tested this, and there's no doubt that people who avoid fiber, their guts heal, their bloating stops, and they have a bowel movement once a day. People who've been constipated for years and years and years and years. So, and you have the brain grain. Dr. Perlmutter has written the book The Grain Brain, about how our brain is affected by grains and how we can become very sick by it. And really, so what we're being told by all these examples, and which has helped millions of people heal, is that something is just not right with grains and the human gut as it is now. And some people can say, well, how come my grandmother could eat, and my ancestors ate bread every day, and they ate lots of rice, and they ate lots of all this? Well, it's because our guts are different now. And so there's many factors in this, but what I would say is the reason why we are so sensitive, there's many reasons. One is most of us have had antibiotics, or are born by mothers or grandmothers, have had grandmothers who have had antibiotics. And we live in a very toxic world, and the food that is available for us now is very, very unnatural. So what our ancestors were provided with was much more natural in its makeup. the whole build of the food was different, so it's much more natural. Whereas today, the shops are full of foods which are very, very unnatural. So our guts have become very compromised. Our immune systems have become very compromised. So that makes us enormously sensitive. And so what I can just say, just in a logical way, the reason why people heal on going back to meat is because they need to go back to something very original. They need to take away all those stresses and go back to something that our ancestors ate 1,000, 2,000, 3,000, a million years ago. Because you go back to something that's original, then the body calms down. Because our genetic makeup understands that food. And I didn't mention the GAPS diet, which actually came out of the specific carbohydrate diet. I have all the books up there. I can show you one day, but you can go and see the GAPS diet, which really is very much like the carnivore diet, because you basically, in the beginning, you're eating meat stock, and you can put some vegetables in there, but you don't need to. And people heal, their guts heal, and people who have depression, anxiety, children who have ADHD, children who are autists, they heal. And it's only in cases where people have been sick for a very long time that the damage is permanent. Brain has been so toxic for so long that the brain can't heal. But as Natasha Campbell-McBride says, who has created the GAPS diet, if you get it early enough, you completely heal the autism. And so the sick gut wants very original food, and the original food is not a big box of grain that's been made into wheat or flour or something. Original food is some type of animal that has been butchered, and you take a piece of it and you put it into a pot and you boil it and you drink that water. That's the most original food there is. And it's just really, really fascinating. And so I think we can, if you're in a situation where you feel this is just, what you're doing is just really, really not working, I think that's a really good way to go. And as I've mentioned before, you can make this very, very simple. And that's, I think, one of the problems with the GAPS diet was it was just too intense. Most people just got so stressed and they couldn't do it. So really, you can do it very, very simply by simply getting some ground beef, cooking it in some butter or some ghee or some tallow, make it smell really nice, put maybe a carrot, no onions or garlics, because those can be quite stressful, but maybe a carrot, a little piece of celery maybe, just put it in there, and water, and just some apple cider vinegar, and just let it simmer for a quarter of an hour, and just drink that, and see how you feel. And then you can add some sour cream or something to make it even more nutritious, or some raw egg yolk or something. And really, if you feel that this makes me feel good, that's really what you can live off that. And you can start eating the actual meat and the vegetables in there. And yeah. So it is really, really a challenge, this. And yeah. So just going back to the grains, and that's what happens when we haven't heard about how we need to change our diet. A part of our mind says, well, this can't be right. Why can't I eat just the food that everyone else is eating? Well, in these cases where we become very sick in our gut, we can't. And so we need to change. And I think it's just so wonderful how someone like Dr. Berry he has so many followers now because people are desperate to heal. And what I love about it is that he's actually using this himself, and you can see his body is healing enormously. He hasn't got all that inflammation in his body anymore. And that people are sharing that this is difficult, but there is a solution. We can do this. So you get this group feeling that we're together. So you're just touching on fruit and how, I mean, I've tried it myself, the fruit diet. I've lived off bananas for 30 days. Just bananas all day long. And some people, I can't remember actually what it really did to me, but just having fruit can be a great relief because fruit is very, very easy to digest. But the thing is, the fruit doesn't have the minerals that most of us need. And so after a while we'll start starving, and it just doesn't work in the long run. But fruits are very, very easily digestible. And so I think as we heal, we can add fruit, and what is really best, because we've learned just to blend everything, just put it all together and blend it all together and then have it as a smoothie. But really I think that's quite damaging and quite difficult for our gut. I know for myself. So it's better to take an actual fruit and just eat it, chew it well and eat it and enjoy it. And often it's good to have the fruit on its own. So yeah, I think I'll finish this video and just it's just really to support you on your journey and to share with you that I know how difficult this can be and how stressful this can be, but to trust that, to follow your heart, follow your gut, and although your diet might have to change a real lot, to just keep telling yourself that it's okay. And as long as you're having very original food, you are being nourished. And use some spiritual practice on your path, on your way. Learn to relax and learn to keep coming into this place of trust that I am loved, I am looked after, I'm here to live a wonderful life, and I will heal, I am healing, and every day I feel better and better and better. And so just finishing off, trust yourself. Whatever I say, whatever you can use that. But always, always listen to yourself, because you are the one, you are the greatest healer, and you are the one who knows exactly what's right for you. So you have all the answers. So yeah, that was a bit about diet and this challenging part of our lives. So I'll finish now and send you all my love. Take care. Bye.